Good morning and welcome to this week of Business Community Support, where we spend the time here at 9 o'clock talking with businesses in the community on how they are handling the COVID-19 and what creative ways we are coming up with to keep our businesses going and to keep our community going. This has been a program we've been doing here for the last 4 months or so, and we're getting some really great speakers, and I want to go right to that and bring them in. Our first speaker today is Megan with the Soldier Creek Winery, and I so enjoy. Hi, Megan. Thank you for joining us. They have done some great creative things to make sure their wine is flowing in and around Webster County as well as the state of Iowa. And that's what this is all about. We're talking about how we're being creative as a business and what we're being able to do. And that's been the biggest thing I've enjoyed so much, not only with this program, but working with my clients and hearing what they're doing out there. So Megan, tell us about Soldier Creek Winery and where you're at and what's going on and all the fun stuff.
Okay, well, Soldier Creek Winery is a family-owned business here in Fort Dodge. We have about 10 acres of grapes just north of Fort Dodge on the Badger Blacktop, if you're familiar. We produce and make all of our wine, grow most of our grapes. We get a few from Jerry Cooper, who is a Webster County resident.
It's still Webster County in Iowa, right?
We're all Webster County, all grapes, all Webster County wine. What else did you ask me? So what's going on right now? I guess I can tell you, we are just on the cusp of harvesting a few grapes in Jerry's vineyard. And today they're actually bottling wine. So I'm in the winery, but I'm in the office, the lab, as we call it. And we can see some of the.
And who would have known that you have a lab for winery? But when you talk to Ann, you hear all that stuff about it, all the things and science that goes into making a good bottle.
Mm-hmm. It is a science, yeah. And Anne is the scientist. So we have all of the fun chemistry apparatus behind me. So yeah, it's a bunch of chemistry, but yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm trying to think what else you want to know. We're kind of
we want to know, let's see, because you Anne, again, we'll go back to Anne, has had a very creative Friday night event. And actually Eric Hansen did a little spiel on that on KCCI. That was great. So yeah. You can see the power of digital out there. So tell us about it. How did it go?
Well, it went really well. When COVID kind of got to Iowa, and Kim Reynolds shut everything down, and we thought, okay, fine, we can handle that. Like, we can roll with it. And so we kind of had to pivot. We weren't strangers to virtual things and like doing digital stuff, but like our marketplace definitely needed to have an update, and like we hadn't spent a ton of time on our Square store. Square is our point of sale. So we actually ended up spending a lot of time there, and like, to their credit, Square really spent a lot of time on their end, making everybody's online stores just so much better. So we were able to adapt to what is really becoming a new reality for us, having a lot more virtual stuff and like really going digital. So it's been really good. We had a lot of support from the community. They were like gung ho for to go slushies. People were super excited about that when we started it. And yeah, then we thought, what else can we do? So after we kind of got our storefront picked up and working better online, we realized that we needed to cancel our in-person market, Winding Vine Market. So we canceled that, but we took it virtual instead. And so we created a online sort of market, I guess is what you want to call it. So it was all on our website, and people, our customers were able to go to that website, find these cool local makers and creators, curators, and they were able to shop that. So when we got done with that, we were like, oh, okay, what else can we do? What other virtual things can we do? And that's when the virtual wine tastings came about, because that was the void for people. Sure, they can come pick up the wine, they can order wine and have it delivered to their door, which we're still doing all of those things, but they couldn't come into the winery and have that like tasting experience. And so we really just wanted to recreate that for them, which is what Anne did. And she did a really good job. And she was, she was nervous at first getting on there, but she did a really nice job and really made it feel like, I'm here. If people are watching live, they felt like they could just throw in like, oh yeah, I taste this in the St. Croix. It tastes like cherries, or I get raspberries or chocolate or whatever, and it kind of turned into like sort of a conversation online. So, as people were saying, we were together but apart. So we found that way to kind of bring it together virtually. So but we're still kind of
in talking about that, Megan, I know some people get frustrated because the minute they do it, they don't get a whole lot of people on there. Can you kind of give it a little idea of how it took a little bit of time for it to ramp up a little bit?
Yeah, like people don't sign on right away. I mean, you have to wait, and maybe they'll come on live, but also they can always find it later. So we waited to see if people would come on, and like if, for example, if you're a business and you're wanting to go live, give your first 30 seconds to like let people come in, because they're not like, they're getting notifications from Facebook, and if they're available then they can pop on, but if they're not, then maybe they'll check it out later. But yeah, I think for us it was just a matter of getting a few people in. Some of our big top fans shared it, and that helped us get more people come in and watch. And again, even if nobody's watching, if you get like 5 viewers at the time, maybe people are busy. Like later on, we had our customers come back and rewatch it and comment in their real time. So we didn't want people to feel like they had to be there at that time. I mean, that's the perk of virtual. It's kind of at your whim. Yeah, I think that it can be frustrating, but if you go back and check, like maybe the next day or a couple days later, you see that there's a ton more views than what you had in real time. So
right. The reward comes a little bit afterwards. So while we're looking at instant gratification here, really the reward comes afterwards. Just be patient, because it does work. It shows up, and every week it just kind of like a snowball. It just keeps growing and growing. And having your, don't be afraid to ask your guests to share it, to like it, to comment on it, because that engagement just fuels it more and more. So that's a great real life story to tell the other businesses in our community on it as well. So you do have the vineyard coming up. I can't remember what it's called. I'm sorry. You'll have to.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're another
one. Another virtual one coming up. Tell us about that.
So the Winding Vine Market is what we call it. We have another virtual one coming up, but this time I wanted to go a little bigger because it's December. Like, people are probably going to be inside a little more. All signs are kind of pointing to COVID's numbers are not really going down. They're kind of going up. So we still kind of have the issue. We're still dealing with the pandemic. People are probably going to be inside. So we thought, let's have a virtual holiday market. So this time we made a schedule, kind of like a loose schedule. We're going to be using the same platform that you're using, the StreamYard platform. And we're going to have like live studio tours from some of our makers. Isaiah Deegan is a local artist, and he's consented to do some live art that we can check in on him with while he's doing it for the 3 hours that we are having the event. And then every hour on the hour, we're going to do wine cocktail demos, which sounded super fun to me. And I can confirm that one of them is very tasty. I have tried it. It's delicious. So we're really excited about that. But it'll be a similar, we'll have the same marketplace like on our website, so people can find all of these vendors and shop them for the holidays. But yeah, we just didn't, we were losing that thing, that one time of year where it's like, hey, holiday markets are such a big deal, but like everybody's kind of canceling and they don't want to do indoor things. So we thought virtual is pretty much the way to go. Plus a lot of our makers that we had in the past have really bumped up their digital presence. So that's really helpful for us to promote them.
Well, and of course, digital is close to my heart here because that's mainly what we do and work with, and hearing your creativity and how you've used digital. Because who would have thought that you could do digital wine tasting and all those different things? But it
Yeah.
works, and your persistence and your creativity is what makes Soldier Creek Winery such a great destination, and all the science behind that wine that you make.
Well, thank you.
Right. Anything else that you want to tell anybody about? Of course, why don't tell them about your website and how they can find you?
Yeah, so we're on social media, Facebook, Instagram. Our website, www.soldiercreekwinery.com. And Soldier is SOLDIER. Sometimes people switch the E, forget the I. Don't forget the I. You won't get there. So you can check us out on our website. We always have all of our events on our event calendar. You can order wine for pickup or delivery from our website. And then I did want to throw in, we are going to be trying digital craft night or virtual craft night. We're going to give it a go, and we're trying to keep them really simple, and people can buy the box like in advance, and it has everything you need in it except for like, the staples like scissors, glue gun. That's a staple for craft night. But we would put everything else in the basket. So stay tuned for updates on that. We are working out all the kinks right now, trying to figure out how we can make that work. But yeah, we have a lot of thoughts on how we can keep going virtually and keep people safe at the same time, but still provide entertainment like we always have. So yeah, look for updates on Facebook. That's typically where we are for the most part.
Perfect. Well, and thank you, Megan, because what you're saying there is just exactly the inspiration that we want to get out to the other businesses is, be creative, go out there. Don't be intimidated by that digital platform, because the world we live in today is the world, and getting that information out there and finding all those people, it's digital. Thank you very much, Megan. Hope you hang on. We've got some other things going on, but other conversations going on. But we want to bring on Eric now, and Eric is with Barrell Smoke BBQ and Catering, and I believe are you out of Denison? Is that right, Eric?
Well, actually, out of Templeton, we had a restaurant.
Well, and we know what Templeton is famous for.
Yes, I always get asked if I have liquor, and I do not have a liquor license. So.
Cool. So tell us, Eric, what has had to change in your world as we've had to make adjustments?
For us, unfortunately, when the restaurant closed, we were not by that. Food trucks were not, so people kind of came to us more.
I think we're losing you, Eric. Well, that's unfortunate. Hopefully we can get Eric back in here. I think he had some internet issues on there. So why don't Chris Patrick is with us today from Main Street. Chris, maybe can you help us talk a little bit about what Eric does, and since you know about him and his business. Chris, we're not hearing you.
Well, we're just having all sorts of technical things, aren't we, this morning?
This week has been an adventure for everybody, technically.
Yeah. So Eric White is the owner of Barrell Smoke BBQ out of Templeton. There he is again. We'll try it again. And a good friend with one of our downtown merchants, and is in Fort Dodge at least weekly, at least once a week, and thought we would reach out to him and see, what he's been experiencing since he was not able to operate for a while. So Eric, are you back with us?
Trying to be. I went outside of my house to see if I got better signal now.
Well, it sounds better, Eric.
And I like the background. Those clouds are beautiful.
It's finally starting to clear up here. It's completely sunny to the west. So.
Okay, so all right, I posted that you're going to be in town tomorrow and are taking orders already with your truck.
Yeah, we usually take orders ahead of time just so people can have it ready if they're in a hurry for lunch. And we also cater to Elanco every Friday also. So we have to come up early and get ready for that. So.
Where will you be at?
We have a new permanent spot. We actually signed a contract with the new owners at Crossroads Mall. So we can set up there permanently from now on.
All right. So he will be at the Crossroads Mall tomorrow. What, about 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock?
About 10:30 we start serving.
Okay. And they can go to your Facebook page at Barrell Smoking BBQ to find out more about it and to place their order.
Yep, or you can text us also. Our phone number's on there.
Okay, perfect. So how has this been working for you as far as the type of clientele that you're getting? Are you getting some new people in? Are you hearing other comments? How do you feel about it? Having to do more of a travel type of a program?
We've actually never been big into the catering yet. We just don't have the facilities or the food truck to do that. We're more of a serving truck. So like I said, a lot of the mobile people have lost a ton of money from that, but we've always been just usually setting up for lunch and dinners. We're just now getting into more catering.
Okay.
But with the restaurant shutting down, of course, that's horrible, but it has put an influx of people back to us because we've never had to shut down. Food trucks have always been considered takeout by the state. So as much as people don't come back every week, people can't eat Mexican or barbecue every day, we have a continued influx of new people now who do keep returning, even though restaurants have opened.
Great. Okay, well, Chris, what else do you want to tell us a little bit more about Eric here?
Well, I had a question for Eric. I wanted to know if he did put any more safety, requirements or things in place just to keep that customer farther away from the food, or were there any other sanitation things that Eric did?
Yeah, after every 2 or 3 customers, we wipe down the counter, the window, the cash box, the iPad that we're touching. We try to get people to use credit card as much as possible, just because only one person has touched it then. We take our temperatures every morning and night, log them into a book. We've been tested. I've been tested at least 3 times. Every couple of weeks we get tested, since that seems to be kind of the incubation period for it. So.
Okay, great. Well, and that's really great to know, Eric, that's how you're handling safety and all that. And we've got on here our post Barrell Smoke marketing, or Barrell Smoke BBQ 712-790-7625 is how you can call Eric and get your food ordered, because he will be in Fort Dodge tomorrow. And we want everybody to know he'll be at the Crossroads Mall with his food truck, so you'll be able to find it very easily when you drive out that direction.
Yeah, we try to be there every Friday because I don't have a very large food truck. Sometimes we have events on Saturday we have to get ready for. But otherwise, we are also one of the very few food trucks that do serve all winter also.
Okay. All right. Great. Well, Eric, thank you so much for hopping on. And like I said, we'll make sure that everybody sees your information. And please share this presentation on your own Facebook page when you have a moment. Okay?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us, Eric. We really appreciate it. Cool. All right. Well, we're talking about restaurants and hospitality and the service industry. And while we may not think about it, childcare is a service issue. And there's been some really, you've probably heard it on the news. CNN had a program on it as well, talking about childcare and how it is going to be critical to the recovery of us economically. And without childcare, it will be a rough road to recover. And how work has had to transform because of it, because of the issues with trying, if the children cannot go to school and have to do virtual, who's going to be home to take care of them? How are they going to be schooled? And how are parents going to work at the same time? Some jobs cannot be done at the home in a virtual area. We have known that here in Webster County and Fort Dodge for quite some time, and they've Linking Families and Communities has put together a survey and spent enormous amount of time researching to find out what our community needs for daycare. And right now, out of every, I believe 10, if you want to put that next slide up, Jason, I believe out of every 10 people out there, of every 10 or every child care space in our community, there are 3 children waiting to get in. That's what I was looking for. I couldn't remember how it was set up. And so we now have a child care connections campaign going on. We've got some remodeling projects going for a facility. And we also have in the works plans to build or remodel another building for childcare. It by no means is going to take care of all the needs in our community, but we need to let everybody know. So you can go into childcareconnectionslocalhub.com, and that's linked on there, and see that and go in and find out more about what is needed in our own community. This is a national problem, but in our own community, it's a very serious problem because we need to have childcare in order for our parents to work. It's no longer really an option for just one parent to work. It's both parents. And this is a very important information on that. You're going to be seeing a lot of things going on, a lot of digital marketing on it to get the word out, to explain it. And you're going to hear it more and more under the national end. I saw 2 programs this morning on the early news talking about childcare and the issues that it's creating in our communities out there. Chris, do you have anything on that as well?
I do. I actually was in a discussion yesterday where when our feasibility study here in Fort Dodge was done, we had 1,600 spots that needed to be filled. So that was 1,600 children that needed child care for parents to work that didn't have a place to go. And I know that a lot of people think that's high. The estimate now is that it's closer to 2,000 spots. So I appreciate the work that you're doing and the rest of the committee that's working on this to, find a way to rehabilitate those buildings. I know they've got an RFP out, or an RFQ actually out, to find architects that are versed in being able to rehabilitate a building or to redesign the interior, because there's so many requirements from the state and the federal for access, ease of access and things. So those kids are taken well care of in that building, in that space.
Right. It's not just a case of just finding a building. It's got to have indoor space. It has to have certain requirements. It has to have outdoor space. There's just so many restrictions on it that we really need to make sure that information, that everybody understands why it's difficult. It's not just finding a building. It's not just even finding a plot of land for it to do it. It's been a real difficult situation. And I need to do a big shout out to Elizabeth Stanek with Linking Families and Communities. This is a passion of hers, and she has been spearheading this program for our community. And we want everybody to know about it and understand about it, and know that we are trying to take care of it. We are actively working on it, but we also need the community. We need the businesses in the community to understand how important it is. They kind of understand, but I don't think they realize the entire impact and where we're at.
Well, I think some of the smaller retailers and well, even all the businesses in the downtown are feeling that impact directly because of returning employees to their business. And a lot of those smaller childcare are not back online yet for varying reasons, or a child tests positive for COVID in their system, and then all of the children are stay at home for a certain amount of time. So how does that parent, cope with that and still being in their job and making a living wage? So it really affects everyone, whether we realize that or not.
Right. And here in the next couple of weeks, we're going to realize it on a different level with whatever ends up with the schools and how we're going to be able to manage continuing that education, whether it's a hybrid and home for a couple of days during the week. That causes an issue for family members depending on the age of the children on there. So a lot of things out there, a lot of areas that we have to address, and a lot of things that we logistically need to think about. And the campaign alone is just to get people aware of it, and as well as helping to raise funds for a new child care facility, because we're not talking little dollars, we're talking millions in order to put a nice child care facility together.
Exactly.
And I don't think people understand that as well either on there. And then the same thing is once you put a child care facility together, the reason that we do not get a lot of people even coming into the community to do it, whether they're for a profit or not, is there really isn't a profit. They struggle to even break even with it on it because of the cost.
Yeah, I think, like you said at the start, it's definitely a service. I mean, that's at the heart of it all the way through. Childcare is a service. And that's why so many of those institutions are nonprofit, because just a person cannot, afford all of the insurance and all of those things that come along with it.
Yep, and make it for a profit situation.
Right.
So that's talking on the childcare again. You can go to childcareconnections.localhub.com. That's a landing page that'll show you some information on it. There is a website up, childcareconnections.com as well, where you can read articles on what's going on and information there. And please feel free to give Elizabeth Stonick a call at Linking Families and Communities. She is a great resource, and this is a huge passion of hers. And we're going to do everything we can to get this going, because it hasn't just happened over a year. I think she's been working on it for 3 or 4 years with the feasibility study and everything else. Great. So let's talk about Shop Iowa. Last week, the Iowa Economic Development Authority did a big press release and push to talk about this project here in the state of Iowa, and how the IDEA is actually promoting and paying for this for the first year. And Chris has been working on this and has a lot of input on it, so I'm going to turn it over to her.
Well, hey, thanks, Cheryl. So IEDA, Iowa Economic Development Association, under the guidance of Debbie Durham, with a lot of their employees, have really developed this with the member market, which is shop where you live. So what they're doing is they're really broadcasting this not just to the state of Iowa, but their market reach is far outside what any one of our merchants could do. So it's a really simple concept. You go to shopiowa.com, and any participating merchant that is a brick and mortar store that has a product to sell can actually be on Shop Iowa for the next, until June of 2021 for free. There's no cost to that merchant. So as a consumer, you just go on, and if you know the name of the business, you just type it in. And if you just have an idea of the category that you want to be shopping in, you type in that category, or you could do a region, and those businesses that are participating will pop up. And there is an option for those businesses to either have delivery within their service region or shipping for those consumers on the site. It's super, super simple to navigate through. I've been on several times, some really great stores across the state of Iowa. So if you can't find a local retailer yet on our, from Fort Dodge on there, please make sure that instead of shopping more globally, really support the state of Iowa and what they're doing right now. So each of the consumers that goes on, what they'll do is they're going to be taking pictures of their items, and they're going to be uploading those with just a real quick price point so people can see those items and know what the costs are. And as on this seller FAQs, all of those details are on there. We will be getting this information up on our website. We've been sharing it with the downtown retailers, but like I said, it is open to any brick and mortar store in the state of Iowa for the remainder of 2020 and into June of 2021 to help really get that digital footprint going out. Many of our downtown businesses have really pushed up their digital format. However, some of them are still really nervous. And I think that's why we're seeing a little of a slow start here in Fort Dodge to get people on that platform. So,
and while I always hesitate on free, it's free for the businesses in the community to use, but the IDEA has funded it because
oh my gosh,
we always know there's a hard cost to everything that we do, and they are out there supporting all of our small businesses. You can put up to 25 items, I believe, on it at a time, and really, again, it's just taking a photo. Take your phone. That's all you need to do. Use your phone. Just make sure it's good lighting and you do a good quality photo on it, and then put your description and your price point, and I think that's about all you have to do on there. I mean, a few little stuff.
Yeah, it is all that you have to do. Just there's a few minutes of setup at the very beginning, and that's why the SBDC, Kimberly Tiefenthaler and Darcy Swan and myself from Main Street, we're here to help. So if a retailer just, is still a little hesitant or tentative about that and wants some questions answered, they can reach out to any of us, and we are more than happy to help them get up and going and get that platform started for themselves.
Yep, exactly. And you brought up a good point. It's global. So if you have been struggling even before COVID-19 and getting the message out about your products and your especially, as a brick and mortar store, your products and services there, this is a great opportunity to find out that your products may be wanted all over the United States and internationally as well. Of course, we're going to go just Iowa and Midwest and
right.
In that context at first, but here at Spin Market, I get contacted. We just picked up a client in New York the other day. Again, they happened to see our stuff, and then talked to some of our clients, and who would have known that we'd be doing Elderberry Springs Farm and helping them set up a store for themselves. But that's it. You don't know who's out there. And the digital market will get you in there and finding that. Megan brought that up in their wine and all by Soldier Creek Winery. And of course, Eric bringing it up with his his food truck and what they've been doing and how people can contact him. How they're using digital and taking that up another step. So it does work. It may be a little intimidating, but they've made it so simple that we really want everybody to try it. And if you're frustrated, give Chris a call. You can give me a call. I'll be happy to help you too and explain it as well.
That's right. And I really wanted to reach out to that consumer again and just remind them, please shop local. You don't have to be in that store to shop local now. It can be online, whether it's through Facebook, whether it's through the shopiowa.com or some of the other platforms out there. Etsy, a lot of our retailers in the downtown are on Etsy. And who would know, right? Yeah. So just make sure that you're really thinking about that community member that also has a store and really is relying on the people in our community of Fort Dodge to stay open.
Right. And if you don't buy a product from them, gift card would be a great option as well, because a lot of these businesses have some type of a gift card or a gift certificate that you can purchase and give to somebody else out there. And with the holidays coming up, it's going to even be more important for these businesses to have that digital platform and to be able to have those additional options there if people are not able to actually go to their brick and mortar store.
Well, that's right, and that brings up another good point. Through the Travel Iowa, they've got the Dream Now Buy Later program. I probably said that the wrong way, but that is a gift card program for businesses that are service businesses. That can be restaurants, that can be other businesses that can sell their services through the Travel Iowa site. Again, sponsored by IEDA. So we want to make sure that we get both of those. Really great programs out to everybody, and so people understand how to use those.
Yes, excellent. A lot of opportunities there, and again, with our guests today, that Megan and Eric, and the other information out there, you're seeing how creative our area, Webster County and Fort Dodge, is in getting through this, and the inspiration that they're providing for our other businesses. We want to really thank them again, Megan Secor with Soldier Creek Winery, and Eric White with Barrell Smoking BBQ as well. And of course, be sure to pay attention to the Child Care Connection Project. And questions on Shop Iowa, you can go to the website as well. I think, is it just shopiowa.com? Is that what it's under, Chris?
Short and sweet.
Short and sweet, shopiowa.com. Go there to learn more about it. Still need more information? Contact Chris Patrick at Main Street, Fort Dodge. Contact me, Cheryl O'Hearn, at Spin Market, and we'll be happy to talk to you. One thing I wanted to let you know, and how active we are here at Spin Market for our businesses. We just, as I'm a Goldman Sachs 10K small business alumni for the state of Iowa. And one of the things that we've been doing is working with our Congress to help support our small businesses and be an advocate for you as a small business owner, to have them continue to help us. The PPP program and those type of things, we were very active in supporting and letting know how important it is. Now we're going out in that second run, and we just did a big push for urging Congress to help our small businesses. And as you can see there was a Washington Post done on this here the other day, and I highlighted in yellow where they put my name up on it as well as supporting that campaign. So we want you to know we're not only working for you locally here, we're also working nationally with our Congress to try to support you in that way as well. Been another interesting day here. It's been an interesting week in Fort Dodge with all the weather issues and internet and cell phone issues that there and across the state of Iowa. But we got through it again, Chris, on there. Hopefully Chad will join us next week. Chad will be able to join us next week. I'm in Spirit Lake working with a client today, so I'm also out and about. But I want to thank everybody that participates and helps put this program together. Jed Burns with Alpha Media. We got Kimberly with Small Business Development Center, and Chris Patrick with Fort Dodge, Main Street, Fort Dodge, and myself, Cheryl O'Hearn with Spin Market. We do this every week to keep you up to date on what's going on. And as Megan says, even if you didn't join us right now, we hope you listen to the program afterwards, because there's a lot of really good information on here. And again, it's local. It's what's going on in our community and hearing from our local businesses. We want to put in what's going on nationally as well, but we want to hear what's going on locally. So if you as a business owner have any information for us and would like to speak, we'll be happy to talk to you. You can message Chris Patrick at info@mainstreetfortdodge.org. Again, that's info@mainstreetfortdodge.org. Any ideas on programs and information, we're always welcome to hear it. So until next week, we'll meet next Thursday at 9 a.m. as well as this will be played on a variety of other formats. You can find it at Main Street Fort Dodge on their Facebook page. You can find it on YouTube for the Alpha Media page as well. And we encourage everybody to share it, like it, and engage and get digital.
That's right. Thanks, Cheryl. Have a great day.
Take care, everyone, and we will talk to you next week.